Welcome to Texas Today. I'm Kristen Dickerson. Experienced awkward moments at some point in our lives where we wish the ground could open up and swallow us whole. But instead of being embarrassed, how do we transform that into personal growth and authenticity? Here to talk more about this topic is author and global keynote speaker Henna Pryor. It's so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. I'm so happy to be here.
I really didn't know you could transform those awkward moments and make it make you stronger.
Can you ever?
It
takes a little bit of work, but you can do it.
Oh, will you tell me a little bit about your journey and why this topic is so important to you?
Yeah, my personal journey starts young. I think a lot of people, when they think about this word awkwardness or this feeling of awkwardness, it starts at a very young age.
Yeah.
And actually the research supports that. When we are kids, we don't actually feel awkward. We actually start to feel that as an emotion in early adolescence, around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So if you'll remember, a lot of us as kids, we would kind of dance recklessly in the kitchen and scream at the top of our lungs, and we didn't really care who was looking.
Yep.
And then around that early adolescence, we start to notice, oh, other people are watching us.
Yeah, the great shift.
Other people are approving. And so my own story as a child of immigrant parents whose clothes always were a bit different, whose food smelled a bit different, I always felt awkward, and I kind of felt that way up until college, until I started to discover a little more about myself. But where this interest professionally started was a lot of us who are into the professional development space, we love Brene Brown, right?
Yeah,
we love her.
so good.
And she would say in her podcasts, stay awkward, brave, and kind. Stay awkward, brave, and kind. And I would think, I know how to stay brave, and I know how to stay kind, but awkward, I don't like that feeling. And how do I stay awkward? And so the deep dive began there.
So how do we do that? How can awkwardness benefit our personal growth?
Yeah, so this is something that, it's funny, a lot of people don't realize, first of all, how universal this emotion is. A lot of times when we think about personal growth and we think about the people we aspire to be, the leaders we aspire to be like, we look at them and we go, God, they're so confident. They're so courageous. They never feel awkward or look awkward at all. And the truth is, and the research was really interesting around this, the most confident people, the ones who take the most risks, that are most courageous, they experience awkwardness the most.
Really?
They've just become comfortable with it. So on this personal growth journey, it's actually not about trying to eliminate it. It's about embracing it instead.
Oh, so good. Okay, so you have some tips to help us navigate this. Let's talk through them. First of all, what we tell ourselves matters.
Yes.
Okay, explain.
The stories we tell ourselves are really important if we're going to embrace awkwardness. Now again, awkwardness could be either a state, I feel awkward right now, or it can be a trait, right? I am awkward. I am someone who is socially awkward. And the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, what are the stories we're telling ourselves? Are they stories about, man, this thing happened, I spoke out of turn, and now I'm a moron who shouldn't open their mouth ever again? Or is the story a more redemptive story? In the words of Dan McAdams, he's a Northwestern researcher, he says redemptive stories are, okay, I tried something. I learned it didn't work out that well, but there was a value in that. And so, first of all, the way we tell ourselves what the experience actually represents is really important in embracing it.
Oh, that's so great. Next up, how to view the self-identity gap.
Yes, the self-identity gap is a term that I came up with to define this kind of middle space where awkwardness lives. So just a quick definition, awkwardness exists when there's sort of two selves that are at odds with each other. There's the version that we believe ourselves to be. This is me, this is my true self. And there's the version that at that moment is on display, the version that everyone else is seeing. So here I am, Henna Pryor, someone who knows how to walk down the street, who just tripped over the crack in the sidewalk, and now the person who saw me goes, that girl doesn't know how to walk, right? Awkwardness is what we experience in the middle. And so that gap, I call it the self-identity gap. And the key to embracing it is learning to build awareness and comfort inside the walls of that gap.
Wow. You also have a book.
I do.
Will you tell us about it so we can learn more about this topic?
I do. I'm so proud of the book. It's called Good Awkward.
Okay.
And this, just the title itself means so much to me. I only knew bad awkward growing up. I always thought it was something I needed to get rid of and fix. And what I set out to answer is, how do we view it as the asset that it is on our quest for professional growth? And so at every inflection point, anybody who wants to grow, they're going to feel awkward. It's going to happen. It's not unavoidable. To avoid it means no uncertainty in life. And so I'm really excited to teach people the why, the how, the awareness, and the tools for how to embrace their good awkward.
And you're such a beautiful and eloquent speaker.
Thank you.
And this is what you do.
This is what I do.
If local companies or organizations locally want to continue to learn, they can hire you.
Yes, I am a full-time keynote speaker. I have a coaching practice as well and run workshops with leaders and ambitious professionals all the time. So I would love love to continue the work.
Yay. Okay. I have a little bit of time to get a few more tips in. Can we squeeze them?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, how to benefit from awkwardness, even if it feels cringy.
Yeah, people don't often think of benefit and awkwardness in the same sentence, but the way we benefit from awkwardness is starting to do a deeper dive of what are the mental blocks we have around it.
Okay.
So some examples of those mental blocks are only the emotionally weak feel awkward. Right? A lot of people believe that. Not true, right? Only the people who are, supremely insecure and don't have confidence feel awkward. Not true. So first step to benefit from it is to understand the blocks that stand in the way.
Letting go of approval. That's a hard one.
We could spend an entire hour talking about that, but I will just say that one of the steps that people skip over is their relationship with approval. I grew up in a household where I really wanted to achieve and make my parents happy, and doing the work to understand the role of approval in my life has made it exponentially easier to embrace awkwardness, because if we don't do that work, we're sort of skipping steps. And so that has to come first, is examining our relationship with approval of others.
And is that really, like, for yourself, realizing where I'm seeking the need for approval?
Yeah, where I'm seeking the need, and also what it represents to me. So if someone doesn't approve, what is the cost? Am I losing love? Am I losing ability to be seen as smart at work?
Yeah.
What is attached to that? And so I kind of make people slow down long enough to peel back the layers about what does this need for approval actually represent.
I can't wait to deep dive in my own brain. And
You and me
see.
both.
I know. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, I learned a lot today. Thank you. To purchase a copy of Henna's book, Good Awkward, or to schedule her for your next keynote event, visit her website, prioritygroup.com.